shit about those guys.
Hey, welcome back to Generation X Nation. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday and enjoyed your family and your friends. Let's get right into it. Had time to go over some of my shows. I had to go back and look at the recordings. So we're going to get right into this Huntsville thing. I swear, as I always say, this shows it's the gift that keeps on giving. It never disappoints as far as drama. Um, Love and Marriage Huntsville. I just gonna try to make this one quick too. Wasn't really much on the show. I mean, it started out with Ken and Trish in the office talking about doing their getting a business started with fitness. Trish seems to be um, has a passion for fitness and is ready to quit her job as an engineer over at NASA, wherever she works at over there at the military installation. So that's a good thing. I said that she needs to do something and make sure they put their business on this platform because it's the biggest free advertisement she'll ever get. So didn't get much out of that. The only thing out of that scene I really got is I don't believe Trish is ready to get married. She really said she wasn't ready to get married. Ken seems to be pushing the marriage thing on her, which is kind of odd to me because in this day and age, I see a lot of women, holding up their index, their left hand finger, waiting to telling the guy to put a ring on it, pointing at it, honestly, damn near begging a man to marry them, and she has a man that's willing, without a doubt, to marry her, and she's running scared. But I can understand it because she's fresh out of divorce and probably shouldn't have started that relationship so soon. That's why I said in my earlier videos, if y'all go back and look at them, I said Trish probably needed to wait a little bit, gave her a little grace period or waiting period and clear everything up with the other guy before she jumped in. She jumped in this little, she jumped into this relationship pretty fast and it was like up and running. They started dating, moved in together, raising the kids together, got the kids calling him dad, at least the youngest girl. So they say, I think that's wrong, but that's a whole nother topic. And, Ken is ready to be, have a family. The only problem I have with Ken, and I guess it's just a question that just stays in my head, why don't you have your own children? And I'm not saying go out and randomly impregnate a woman, but it's odd to me. And if there's a medical reason why you can't have children, I completely understand. Um, but just make room for the biological fathers. It's good. You want to be a good father, a good husband, to Trisha kids and also Trish and Marquez children, and also the young lady that you have taken upon yourself to be the father of. But make sure you leave room for the biological fathers. They may at some point want to come back, and you should be open to that. Um, in my opinion, I think Trish still has completely got over Marquez, but that's another story. Outside of that, every other conversation I seen on the show tonight was somehow or another is circled back to Melanie. Melanie didn't even film, Marceau didn't film, Destiny didn't film, and Letitia didn't film. And the only person name I kept hearing repetitively was Melanie. I think Marceau came up once or twice because of the incident in the park, but everybody kept talking about Melanie. And this is where we be talking about the millimeters be talking about. The millimeters out here saying, y'all don't get this woman a break. And you don't. She's not even filming. She wasn't even on this episode. But yet her name came up, and I didn't even count. But if I went back and counted, it probably came up quite a few times. Um, the Maurice and Martell, what I got, I'm sorry, Maurice and Martell. Let me slow down because I do talk fast. The back and forth where Maurice was trying to soften the blow between Martell and Marceau, I think that is over. I think he had a good point when he said Martell felt a little, some type of way because now he's seeing things are going up with the scope name, which was Scott and Holt at the time. And now Marceau actually owns that company. So Martell probably drives down the street and sees that sign somewhere and feels a certain type of way because he know that at some point in his life he had a vested interest in that particular company. So I would feel a little way if I was him. He called him inflatable, meaning that he always blaming stuff when everybody else doesn't take accountability. Um, and I give Martin Luther Reese a little bit of props in this conversation because he tried to get through to Martell. I don't think Martell was trying to hear it. Martell said he don't care by any means necessary. He's going to get back at Marceau for what happened in that park. He blamed Marceau for starting it. I don't think he watched the whole thing because Destiny was the one to initiate the conversations, and then Martell took it to the next level. But in his eyes, Maurice started the whole issue in the park. So that's another thing. Like I say, Martell never takes accountability for anything. Um, Mel, Maurice said that the reason Mel is famous is because what happened between her and Martell. That's not exactly true. They're famous because they're on the show, just like you guys are famous for being on the show. Unfortunately, during the show, they had a divorce. So that probably brought their storyline to more of the front of the show than everybody else because they actually still basically lived their storyline out on the show. Their divorce, the custody battles, the back and forth, the side chick, the baby, that kind of put their storyline to the forefront and push you guys back. So did it give her more fame and give her more fans? Yes, it did. But that's not the only reason that she's famous. Because if that's the case, why are you guys famous? You guys are famous for being on the same show she's on. So kind of doesn't make sense for you to say that. It kind of sounds a little, I don't know, maybe a little bit of jealousy in there. As you said, you use that little lawyer type defense. Melody is very tactical and what she do, she knows how to project things. No. What Melody is doing is giving you guys what you gave her. When she was going through her little thing with Martell, I'm not going to go over all the way through it, but when they were having their marital issues, going through the process, you guys were living your best life, asking questions, laughing about it, talking about it, joking about it, high-fiving Martell, not really being present for her. And now that she's cleared all that, got her businesses off the ground, running and doing what she want to do. Now y'all want to act like, oh, she's being, negative. She's projecting. She's blaming everybody else. No, she giving y'all the same smoke y'all gave her. The difference is she fought through that smoke and came out on top. Y'all don't know how to fight through it. So she's all up in y'all business like y'all were all up in her business. Don't get mad. At the end of the day, she's giving you the same smoke you gave her. Y'all just don't like it. Again, Maurice and Martell had a conversation that talked about Martell and Marceau's argument, the need for Martell to work out some things that he got going on inside. And by the end of that conversation, it went back to Melanie's the problem. Melanie's projected. Melanie's only famous because of you. See what I mean? The next conversation that went on was between Kim and Trisha. Same thing. First, they were talking about getting a building for her gym, and she wants to be an entrepreneur and how great it is to be an entrepreneur, and she wanted to quit her job. And then somehow along the line, it went back to Melanie. Talking about Melanie said this about Maurice, and then, Martell and Trisha hooked up because Chris, was the one that hooked them up and got them together. Which, once again, Trisha, your story's changing. Your story's changing. You knew Martell through his brother Marquez. Then you knew Martell because he reached out to you because he wanted to work out. Then you went to his house to work on the workout. To show him, to talk to him about getting some personal training. Then you went to his house and chilled and watched movies. We don't know what you did at this point. Then you said you met him at the gym. It's all over the place. And when it's all over the place, then it's probably not true. Because your story is not consistent. But I tell you whose story is consistent. The guy who wasn't on the show last night, and that's Marquez. Marquez's story has not changed about what happened. The timelines may have been off here and there, but he stayed with that same story about how that man was DMing you chocolate hearts, how he was living upstairs, how he was messing with Ken, the whole nine. His story hasn't changed. So I'm more in depth to believe Marquez than you. But again, as the story continued, somehow it ended up back to Mel. Okay? Then we see Martez with his therapist. And that was the only time I seen Martez show some breakthrough, just a little bit. She told him to work on his self-development. He said he needed to cut off certain things that are red flags for him, focus on his children and his self-development. As though he don't have the time to do it because he's spending so much time with his children. At least that's what he told the therapist. And she said that shouldn't be happening. I find that hard to believe because from what I can see, They have 50-50 custody. Like, I think the kids spend a week with Martell and maybe a week with Melanie. But if she's able to start businesses and do movies and all the stuff that she does during her time off with the kids, you should be able to do the same thing during your time off with the kids. But you're too busy focusing on Bird Brain over there, Arion. That's probably where your extra time is being spent. And she don't have nothing going on, but you guys sit always over there plotting something. Um, you also mentioned about letting people go who are not good for you and don't belong in your life. I don't know who you was hinting at, but it should be Arion. That's who you should be letting go. And you say you don't know how to let go. And I'm starting to believe that because every time I look up, you with her. And I get it, y'all got a kid together. But you probably should let that girl go. She's caused more damage in your life than good. But again, I think y'all love each other. At least you're trying to get therapy. But at the end of the day, even your therapist looked at you sideways. She even know that you're not where you should be in therapy. You're not ready for it. You still blaming other people. Um, the next conversation was at the open house. You guys were standing on the back. Again, somehow or another, the conversation went back to Martell. And I think Mel name was thrown in there once or twice, but it was mostly focusing on Martell and Trish and how they met. And it came out to be that Chris and had introduced Martell to Trisha. And when Nell called him in, and when she called him on to the forefront and said Chris what happened, him and Martell was trying to piece that story together. And I like Chris Fletcher, but at that particular time, that story did not sound truthful. It did not sound truthful to me. There's no way in the world that I believe that that's how those two met, because him and Martell was trying to, follow each other's sentences and then fill in the blanks as they go along. Ken, in his confessional at the end, even realizes this sound real shady. I don't believe it, but we'll get to the bottom of it. You know, but that's a whole another story. But the one thing I did get out of that is one. Ken says Marquez is not a man. I don't know why he keep messing with that man's character. And he, really wants to marry Trish, and he's not understanding what's going on. And I'm still at the point where Ken, if all Trish had to do was take those papers to the courthouse and drop them off. She's sitting in the living room with Kim and them saying, I signed the papers, but I just hadn't took them to the courthouse. Baby, if you want to get away from that man that bad, you could have drove by that courthouse anytime you want to, on your lunch break, on your day off, whatever, and drop those papers off. There's no excuse. I think she's scared to make it final. And I get it. She's in a relationship. It's like the person is dying, like the relationship is dead. And you got to give it a funeral, and you're going to mourn a little bit, but you got to do it, Trish. And when you do it, you're going to feel a lot better. Trust me. But she could have been in it if she wanted to. I just don't think she wants to marry. I think if she gets divorced, then she won't have an excuse not to marry Ken. But right now, she used that as her clutch. We can't get married because I'm still married, because I don't think she's ready to get married. Um, Last but not least, Martell just admitted he was still in love with Melody. I was shocked, but not shocked. I'm just glad. I was shocked that he really admitted. We all know he was still in love with Melanie, but we know that that ship has sailed. It's probably never going to happen again. So, good luck to him. Last but not least, we're going to talk about is this is just hot off the presses, and I didn't really look that deep into it or read too much into it. But apparently, Martell has posted something on social media about, and I'm not going to guess because, again, like I say all the time, I like Letitia and I like Marceau. But Martell has posted this, and this is from, and I don't even like doing other people's stuff, but it looks like it came off the Bravo Shade Room or something. And it basically says, you can see the post that he said, Letitia Scott, now is the perfect time to tell Marceau about my friend who had you in the back of a Buick. Is he the one that caused a scare after Marceau's vasectomy too? And he put a little smoke hashtag, somebody hand with their face, and he laughed. And it says hashtag shareable, hashtag facts, hashtag fishing trips. He blacked the other people's faces out, but Marceau's face is still there, and another guy. So I'm assuming that may be the guy. And again, Everything on my page is alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. I will say that again. This is not a story that I created. I'm just posting exactly what came off of Martell Holt's Instagram page, what he posted. And I think it's really wrong and dirty to do that. I don't know this young man in this picture, so this is alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. I only report on what you give me, what I see on the screen, what you post on social media. I do not know anybody in these photos personally. I never met them, and I don't mean to say anything that would cause any of them harm to their family. I believe this young man's face that's not covered may allegedly be who he's talking about, and if not, I apologize. But you are so wrong for showing for posting this the way you did, because any person with a brain look at it will think that's the guy you're talking about. I don't know who that young man is, but he needs to get in your behind, Martell. He needs to get in your ass. You should not be doing that. That man may have a family, kids, whatever going on in his life, just like you do. Because it seems like you're all in the same age group. Why would you do that? I hope he's not married. I hope he don't have a fiance, children or whatever that looks up to him. I don't know what his job is. I hope he's not in like a teacher or a public servant or something. You're not understanding. You doing this you and that raggedy mouth girl of yours, that stupid bird brain you date. Y'all doing this stuff. You are affecting people's lives. This ain't about a get back. I'm mad at you. I'm gonna get back at you. These are people's lives and careers you mess with. This man ain't on the show. And he don't freaking deserve this. You know? And if she did something or didn't do anything, that ain't your freaking business, because you screwed your marriage over. Don't give you the right to go screw somebody else's marriage over. You really need that therapist you got. You may need 2 or 3 of them. And I've been saying it for the longest. You and Ariana need therapy. Y'all really do. Something is definitely wrong with you to do that. Definitely wrong with you. You don't have Mel to push around anymore. So now I guess you just want to push around anybody that you feel you can, threaten or intimidate. If I was Marceau, I'd whoop your behind every time I see you for doing that. But I digress, because I know Big Wanda gonna get on him at some point. Moving on. The next is last thing I'm gonna talk about is Belle Collective. I'm not gonna say this is gonna be real quick. Wasn't much going on at the reunion, in my opinion, other than So Gucci, Sophia, whatever her name is, and not being funny, Chantel, Sophia, So Gucci, whatever her name is, going back and forth with Selena. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to end this. Selena already had a fan base. And I'm not saying we don't know So Gucci. I mean, she's been on there for 1 season, so we got to know her a little bit. We knew JJ prior to meeting So Gucci. Selena had a fan base from dancing, I forgot what they call it, dancing dolls, whatever, with Miss Diana. So people like Selena. So Gucci, I'm going to be honest with you. You were real nasty and rude to Selena the whole time. Every time she said something. And I don't know if Selena was just being nice, nasty. I don't know. Because they say Mel Cherie is nice, nasty a lot. I don't know. But what I do know is, from what I can see on the reunion, looking at the TV screen, again, we don't see the edit parts. And everything I say is alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Selena was trying to be, cordial. She was trying to be cooperative. She was trying to express her opinions, and you would just cut her off and snap at her any chance you got it. And not that you think he was being just rude. And even Carlos felt it. He may not have said much, but he's seen it. And the rest of the cast had to feel it too. But they just sit there laughing like it's funny. I didn't find it funny going after Selena like that. I don't know you like that. Again, we don't know you personally, but we've been knowing Selena for a while, and her daughters. And JJ. I love JJ when he was on Dance with the Stars with his daughter. And I know you wasn't able to get your shine on that part of the reality TV because of the basis of the show. And now you feel like, hey, this is my show. She coming over here and stepping over here and getting in there. Look, the person y'all need to be mad at is JJ. I'll say it again. Because at the end of the day, and this what I agree with Carlos, Selena said you're the reason that you're on the show. And she's probably right. And I believe exactly what she said, that she got a phone call, and she gave you the red flag. And the reason I believe that, if she knew if JJ's on the show, that comes with you, she understands that, but she knew there's a chance her children could get on the show. That helps them out financially. And then maybe she could do a guest appearance here and there alongside her daughters, which helps her out. So everybody would aid off of that. You wanted this all to yourself. And you should have known there was no way you could be on the show with JJ and not the daughters come in, and at some point Selena come in. We know Selena from Dancing Dolls. Hell, we called her the Beyonce of the mom. She was the Beyonce over there. You couldn't tell Selena she wasn't the Beyonce of all the moms over there. You know what I'm saying? And she was entertaining, very entertaining. And for you to take low blows at her, acting as though she don't got that much and how much stuff costs and she needs the money like she broke or whatever, that was just low. There's a lot of people on reality TVs that's faking the funk. And if she don't have as much as you guys, that's fine. She'll get there. I think you did her really, really bad. And you're sitting here happy and, oh, well, I got this and I got that. Maybe you don't want Selena on the show because you don't want her to tell the truth about what JJ really be doing. I don't know. Again, I like JJ. I think he's fun. He's great for the show. I'm going to miss his interactions with Akeisha and Willie because I thought that was a true, genuine bond. And I hope they continue the friendship outside the show. It's going to be interesting to see who JJ hangs out with now because I know he don't get along with Cliff and the other guy that much. So maybe he'll find another friend to hang out with. But so Gucci, you was wrong for the way you treat Selena. And I don't care what nobody say. Y'all may not like Selena. Y'all may think it's so Gucci show. I just feel like you could have treated Selena better than that. And when she was trying to be cordial and nice to you, you just continue. Even when she told you she lost her son, you act like you just didn't care. You didn't care. And on the other note, and I'm really going to end this time. Marie, your house got shot up, and God, I pray that everybody was safe, and I hope everything is okay. And you kept saying you don't know who would want to do it. I don't know, but for the life of me, I'm looking at your children, and they're beautiful as they are. But those older sons, I just believe one of them sitting there know more than what they're telling as to why somebody targeted your house, and no shade. Again, all of this is alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. I don't know any of you people personally. I only give my commentary based off of what I see projected to me off of the TV screen. So if something doesn't sound good or whatever, maybe they need to edit the show better. But this is what I see. I don't know you. Okay. And with that being said, you guys have a great rest of your week. I wish everybody happy New Year's if I don't put up another video by then. It's a sad day because we did lose Jimmy Carter. He was 100 years old, wonderful life, great guy. And with that, I wish everybody a safe and happy New Year's. And Generation X Nation is out. Like and subscribe to my channel. Please share. I know y'all listen to my videos. Go back and look at some of my other videos. Y'all, it will probably be very entertaining to y'all. And I'm going to go ahead and log out now. You guys have a wonderful day. Gen X Nation out.